Folks, check it out. Today we are talking about the follow-up to the Schrödinger's cat. This was a mechanical and magnetic slider that was released sometime last year. I did review the PEI and polycarbonate one and was kind of unimpressed. Now that was a 3-layer and this is a 2-layer, but let's give it a listen here. Not a bad sound. Has this track right here. So you've got that space to skate in between those detents. But really not bad. This is, for an aluminum slider, actually pretty decent. Now, it came with a couple extras, one of which I had to purchase. Because this was an extra that was an add-on. So it didn't exactly come with it, but let me show you how you use that. So just using a bit driver, you pop that top plate off, and you can see what I'm running here, if I can get it back down, is there are just little ledges right here for a magnet to sit on. So when you use this top plate that will hold those in there, it will create a little pull in each spot as it goes against these magnets that are on that plate. So that's kind of a cool feature, and you can lessen that obviously by, taking one of them out or taking both of them out, and that's going to give you just purely mechanical. Now before I was getting that tug every, right there, right there, right there, anytime I was going over these magnets underneath. So for a purely mechanical slider, actually pretty darn good. Adding these little extras is where you can really kind of spice things up. So what this top plate does, and I kind of thought, I'm a big purple guy, but it's got some kind of like goldish accents that run through it. And sometimes you see things and they look really vibrant, they look really beautiful on the website, and then you get it and it's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen. A little bit because you can see that gold accent that's on there looks a little cheap in my estimation. Now this is ultimately a piece of plastic with 4 magnets in it and some spaces there. But I kind of thought instead of the gold being printed on there, it was going to be more of a like a mixed resin or something like that. Can't expect too much. But we can pop in 2 of the buckyballs, and now you've got that top, which will allow those to move around in that space. I also kind of thought, you get rid of the aluminum and you replace it with purple, and I thought maybe it'd look a little better. It looks a little out of place, looking at that as a full unit. It's kind of funny looking, but it's got a good sound. If you're into the buckyball craze, I think that's really nice. Now again, just like with the other top, pop that out, lessen that a little bit. But you really only use that if you wanted to use buckyball. So if you're not interested in the buckyball thing, you don't need to buy that top. There is no way to run a buckyball on this spot unless you have that top though. So Other things that it came with, obviously I got buckyball and springs. I've got a little, one of these an extra guide pin, some little Teflon slides. Now I imagine those could go in here. Maybe if I just wanted to use it as a buckyball slider and didn't want to have the magnetics in, or the mechanicals in there. Some extra magnets, etc. Let me show you how to disassemble. This whole unit here is magnetic. So you just pull that apart. Now you can see you've got your base, which has a multitude of options. Really quite impressive. The other thing is these guide pins can move 1, 2, 3 different spaces. So you have to be careful about where you're placing your balls and springs, because if you put the guide pins in up too high and your balls and springs down here, as you push it up for the first time, those are going to come flying out at you. Now I chose to be able to, instead of just pushing, one direction, I put those guide pins in the middle, a ball and spring on either side of that, so that I can push it in both directions. You're going to get the same amount of clicks no matter where you go, but that's a lot of fun. It also came with this little magnetic metal piece, which I've just stuck up front because it's kind of like, I don't know, a little rattly magnet in there. Put the balls back on there. A lot of options with this thing, so I probably won't get to all of them. Let's try another tactic. We're going to put it up against there with no pins in there. Now, we slide that over and then pull it apart. Now we're going to set this piece off to the side. Okay, now let's grab that other piece, line up that lanyard hole. Come on, baby. Voila. Voila. There we go. Now, I liked my setup. I'm going to go back to those 2 magnets right there on those little shelves. Take our top that came with it, drop it on. You can see how that affects the play. But again, just really good mechanical on its own. I do think it sounds really good. And with all the extras, I mean, there's different colors of this one. So if there's like one that's maybe closer to black, might match this a little bit better. And I think they had different colors of this as well. So I think this was a good purchase, to be honest. Now, I don't know if this is going to stay in my collection long term. Rarely, nothing ever does. But I think it's a good piece if you like a lighter weight material and you want a lot of different options to mess around with. This was maybe like an extra 20 bucks, and you got the buckyballs and things like that with it. So check it out, folks. I think this is pretty decent. Mine I got from 4inswork on AliExpress. So make sure to give them a look. All right. Thank you, folks.
Folks, welcome to Unfocused, part of the show where we rant, rave, recommend, or reflect. I recommend you take a vacation. I know sometimes it's not always, in the cards for everybody. But get in the car, drive somewhere, anywhere, even if it's just out of state or somewhere in state. It is worth your time. And what is money anyway? Just paper that people have decided is worth something. Spend that shit and enjoy yourself.